Honestly, I believe that we say things in certain ways according to the experiences through time and watching the elders go through certain things. We've gotten certain understandings based off that. So you'll hear people say things like, it don't work like that. I've said that myself too. Or you'll hear people who haven't experienced certain levels of love saying that ain't gonna happen, they're not gonna do that, it's gonna be like this. And everybody kind of goes with that thing, and not for nothing, when some people are more in one energy than the other, that particular feelings from other people will balance out how someone thinks they should be. It's almost like everybody learns not to be who they were based on other people's experience. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. It kind of messes up the growth of an individual. Whenever you come into this world, you have a certain type of energy that's just with you. But because other people went through whatever experiences they went through, they have to do a lot more projecting. And these people bother me a lot. They do a lot of projecting because they're mad that certain outcomes didn't take place for them. And ultimately, these people are what changes into criminals in the future. When things don't work for them, they inflict what they went through on people to get some form of validation, I guess, some form of structure within their life. So the same people will pose to everybody else like they're good people, they're accomplished, they're spiritual, and all this other stuff. But when in fact, they're just blatant liars. They're just blatant liars. And what drives them to be underhanded, like you don't never see who they are in the front. You only hear what they project towards you, what they want you to see them as. You never seen them at their lowest. You never seen them, you know. And if they were going through something, they did what we call scapegoat. They like to, put the responsibility on something else. There's two type of issues that happen in the world. There's a situation to where someone can make something great look like that's not just for you, right? And then you have people in the world who magnetize greatness. So you got to understand, some things that are for you, people are not going to want that to be for you. So they're going to have to make a vantage point to make it look like, you know what, you're not supposed to just get anything. Well, that wasn't for you. It was for them to get that. And because you didn't reveal it in a certain way, the way you felt, you went all out in manipulation mode to hide, steal, lie, cheat it out of its position to make it seem like it was for you other than the person. So then that person suffers lack thereof of this level of manipulation, and that individual will hold the false face of their reality, right? Oh, I'm just this, I'm just that. No, you're just a liar. No matter what, you became the criminal that you've bashed in so many different ways, right? It's a deep concept to think about. And you're taught this. You're taught this through propaganda, old school TV shows and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got Superman and Lex Luthor. Superman would, he's flying around doing whatever he does. Lex Luthor is like, look at you, strong, beautiful, powerful, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they teach people to be like that. Don't you think other people might revere you in that same way? They may look at you, even though you don't have much, you don't have this, you don't have that, but you hold up very well. Your structure is strong. You went through it and you didn't fall. So you know what people say? Look at you. You're happy. You're smiling. I hate you. You're still strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the energy that we're dealing with constantly. You have people who choose to have their subconscious value based off a villain mentality. And they don't even see it because of their judgment towards something of a value that they seem to be great. It's either I have to take what you are because I can't find that for myself. How low you've been brought. It's so crazy how society itself has structured everybody here in this area to want to be the ultimate system makers. All of you guys, like, you don't have to be put through slavery. You don't have to be oppressed no more. Everything here that made all those things is what's of value to you now. So even with conversation, people speak at people in a certain way, which is based off the same way you was taught to or treated through your weakest point. The values that separated certain people at a certain time that were representative of because of your color or standpoint is now how individuals treat each other within societal norms, social outcomes, and other standpoints of reality. And these conversations are never going to be had because these are the power tools that people use to structure a value. And instead of me oppressing you, I'll just tell you this is what's needed to make this happen. I'll tell you in order for you to get to that next level, you got to hurt this. I'll tell you in order for you to obtain that, you might have to take it in a way of manipulation. This is where everybody is right now. You know, I feel out of place. I feel out of place. I feel like there's not any love out here for me. I feel like there's not a foundation out here for me. You know what I mean? It don't matter if I keep going, I'm gonna keep going. But as everything I contend with, it seems like it's possibly that it can go in another direction. That's something I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with the fact of possibilities. I don't want to deal with the possibility of an outcome being placed on a menu that I didn't write myself. So I can't get in a situation when the menu is based off other authors. That's something I can't deal with, right? And I won't deal with it. So I don't think people innately are growing in the right direction, spiritually, wisdom, form based, or anything. I don't see that happening. I just see people regurgitating thought patterns that they picked up on from another understanding based off something that felt right when someone said it to them, or listening to things that I say and they try to merge it into their lives particularly. Nobody's willing to stand for a true belief before they back out of it. You know what I mean? And that's also cross-reference with trying to protect your energy. You don't know what to get involved with because everything has options. And who wants to deal with anything that has an option? You don't want to be an option to no one. You want to be someone's choice, right? So automatically, I end up seeing everything before the pretense. And then I make my decision. Before I wouldn't have made a decision, I would have brushed it off and been like, yeah, it's not cool. That's not a way to think. That's not a way to be. It's not a way to live. It's not right. Okay? And you guys are promoting this as a value. No, you're supposed to have enough discipline to keep yourself still. Instead of saying, I'm going to eat every piece of ice cream that's available. I'm going to try everything. I'm going to go all the places. No, that's not how you have experience. That's how you overdo your senses to the experiences before you have the right one. That's literally what happens. It's like you overdo the power in that particular experience by doing other things. So by the time you do get a chance to do what's for you, it's not even exciting no more because you've had the building blocks to get that. The things that, it's almost like saying this one particular food is in that country, but there are restaurants that make carbon copy models to it. You know what I mean? They make different versions of it, but it's a lot cheaper. So then you go to every single restaurant that's not quite that one that's across seas. And then you finally get a chance to go across seas to experience that. It's like you experienced it backwards. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I tried all those, but yeah, and you're not really excited because you know what it is. If you try something the first time and it's authenticity, where it is the first time, that experience explodes your mind because you're not used to it. Nowadays, everybody wants to be involved in everything before they have what they're not used to yet. And then when you finally get to what you're not used to, you've been used to everything similar to that, right? So now it's not even something you really want. You know, that's the reason for people wanting to be picked, so they can have an ego. You want to be charged. You want to say, I was chosen. You know, you want to feel that love that someone is aggressively into you. And most people don't want to be aggressively into anyone because they don't want to get played like a fool. So on both dynamics, you got people who know this about you and they run to fill that void, lack thereof, of what you knew as a child. They're going to overbearingly be big and powerful. Ah! And then you're going to be like, this is what I want, until they do you dirty. And you'll be like, but I love them so much, but it wasn't for you. So you crying for nothing. You tried everything else before you got what was for you. So you hurt you. It's like saying, I'm gonna put a turbo on this, but that turbo wasn't supposed to go on a Pinto. So the tires and the motor run down because you wanted the turbo to go fast. You know what I mean? It's that type of concept. Then you realize it was a Pinto. It was supposed to be a comfortable ride. So you're like, you know, let me put it back to where it's supposed to be. And then it'll last longer. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. You can always overdo something, but you don't see this as people. You don't see yourself overdoing you by the fleshly understandings of your value. If you keep your flesh at a discipline, that means you don't over-experience anything in life. When it's time for you to experience what's yours, it will be an overwhelming, great feeling. Y'all get in groups thinking that these groups, some of these females and men you get around and you call your friends or whatever, are fucked up. They've experienced too much too fast in the wrong way, and they're not mad. They're not happy about it. You see what I'm saying? And then they try to use it as a mental upheaval, like I'm this, I'm that. Think about it when you was in high school. You got girls that has exposed themselves too fast, and now they're walking around like they're women opposed to their mother. You're a woman, but your mother bust you up real quick. You just saying you're a woman because you spread your legs, and you can explain what that feels like. Same thing with a man. You're only a man because you can explain what sex feels like when you're young, opposed to the fact that you're standing up to your father. You know what I'm saying? So these values is literally disrespectful. It has nothing to do with being right and wrong. So as a parent, you got to be the image of what that is. So if you out here in the world just throwing yourself around every single option, you're not showing nobody how to have discipline. What does discipline mean to you?